The birth of the universe and the Earth. The origin of our world began with the Big Bang, around 13.8 billion years ago. This massive explosion created time, space, and matter. Over billions of years, galaxies, stars, and planets formed. Among these, Earth emerged about 4.5 billion years ago. At first, it was a hot, molten sphere. Gradually, it cooled, forming land, oceans, and an atmosphere that could support life. The origins of life. Life started in Earth's oceans nearly 3.8 billion years ago. The first living organisms were microscopic, bacteria and other single-celled life forms. Over billions of years, these evolved into more complex life. Around 541 million years ago, the Cambrian explosion produced a burst of new life forms in the seas. Dinosaurs ruled for over 160 million years until a mass extinction 66 million years ago, likely caused by an asteroid. This cleared the way for mammals to rise, and eventually humans. The rise of humanity. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, appeared in Africa around 300,000 years ago. They spread to Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Early humans lived as hunter-gatherers, using stone tools, fire, and forming small communities. The Neolithic Revolution, around 10,000 years ago, changed everything. People began farming and domesticating animals. Villages turned into cities. Societies grew around rivers like the Nile, Tigris, Euphrates, Indus, and Yellow River. The first civilizations, 3000 BC, 500 BC. Mesopotamia, Iraq, home to the Sumerians, who created cuneiform writing, built cigarettes, and formed city-states like Ur and Babylon. Laws like the Code of Hammurabi emerged here. Ancient Egypt, along the Nile River, Egyptians built pyramids and worshipped gods like Ra and Osiris. They invented hieroglyphs and advanced medicine and engineering. Indus Valley, Pakistan/India, cities like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa had advanced plumbing, urban planning, and trade. Ancient China. The Shang and Zhou dynasties laid the foundations of Chinese culture, bronze tools, oracle bones, and ancestor worship. Mesoamerica and Andes. The Olmecs developed early civilizations in Mexico. In South America, early societies paved the way for the later Inca Empire. Classical civilizations, 500 BC, 500 CE. Ancient Greece, known for democracy, philosophy, and art. Thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle shaped Western thought. Athens and Sparta were powerful city-states. Literature. The Roman Empire expanded across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. Famous for its roads, law, aqueducts, and engineering. Rome eventually fell in 476 CE. India, the Maurya Empire under Ashoka spread Buddhism. The Gupta Empire saw advances in mathematics, zero, astronomy, and Sanskrit literature. China, the Qin dynasty unified China and built the early Great Wall. The Han dynasty promoted Confucianism, created a bureaucratic government, and expanded the Silk Road trade route. The Middle Ages, 500 to 1500 CE. Europe. After the fall of Rome, Europe fragmented into feudal kingdoms. The Catholic Church became the most powerful institution. The Crusades were religious wars between Christians and Muslims over the Holy Land. Islamic world. Founded in the 7th century, Islam spread rapidly across the Middle East, North Africa, and parts of Europe and Asia. The Abbasid Caliphate in Baghdad became a center of science, medicine, philosophy, and culture. Africa, great kingdoms like Mali, with Musa Musa, grew rich from gold and trade. Timbuktu became a famous center of Islamic learning. Asia, China's Tang and Song dynasties produced gunpowder, printing, and compass technology. Japan developed its feudal system, led by samurai and shoguns. Americas, the Maya built cities with pyramids and advanced calendars. The Aztecs and Incas created powerful empires with advanced agriculture and engineering. The Renaissance and global exploration, 1400 to 1700. The Renaissance. Beginning in Italy, this was a rebirth of art, science, and humanism. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, and scientists like Galileo and Copernicus, changed the way people saw the world. Age of Discovery. European nations explored the world by sea. Columbus reached the Americas in 1492. Vasco da Gama reached India, and Magellan's cruise circled the globe. Colonization began, often leading to the destruction of native cultures. Scientific Revolution and Enlightenment, 1600 to 1800. The Scientific Revolution introduced new methods of inquiry and understanding. Isaac Newton's laws of motion and gravity transformed physics. The Enlightenment brought ideas of liberty, equality, and reason. Thinkers like Voltaire, Locke, and Rousseau inspired revolutions and democratic ideals. Political revolutions and industrial change, 1700 to 1900. American Revolution, 1776. The U.S. gained independence from Britain, creating a new democratic model. French Revolution, 1789. The people overthrew the monarchy and aristocracy. Napoleon rose to power and reshaped Europe through war and reform. Industrial Revolution. Starting in Britain, machines transformed manufacturing. Steam engines, trains, and factories emerged. While economies grew, cities became crowded and workers faced harsh conditions. Empire, nationalism, and world wars, 1800 to 1945. Imperialism. European powers divided Africa and Asia into colonies. While infrastructure was built, native populations were often exploited and enslaved. World War I, 1914 to 1918. Triggered by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, alliances turned Europe into a battlefield. It ended with millions dead and the harsh Treaty of Versailles. World War II, 1939 to 1945. Sparked by Hitler's invasion of Poland and the rise of fascism. The war led to the Holocaust, atomic bombs in Japan, and the eventual victory of the Allies. The United Nations was created to maintain peace. The Cold War era, 1945 to 1991. After World War II, the world split into two major powers, the US, capitalist, and the Soviet Union, communist. Though they never fought directly, their rivalry influenced nearly every global event for decades. Key events included the Korean War, Vietnam War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and the space race. In 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed, ending the Cold War and leaving the US as the world's superpower. Decolonization and the rise of new nations. After World War II, colonies in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East gained independence. India and Pakistan gained freedom in 1947. African nations like Ghana, Nigeria, and Kenya followed in the 1950s, 70s. Many new nations struggled with borders drawn by colonizers, leading to civil wars, poverty, and dictatorship in some regions. The Digital and Global Age, 1990, present. Technology boom. The Internet, smartphones, social media, and AI revolutionized human life. Tech companies like Apple, Google, and Microsoft reshaped the world economy. Globalization, trade, culture, and communication expanded globally. But concerns over inequality, climate change, and nationalism also grew. Terrorism. After the 9/11 attacks, 2001, the world entered a new era of security and conflict. Wars in Afghanistan and Iraq followed. China rose as a global power, challenging U.S. dominance. India also emerged as a major player economically and technologically. Recent challenges. Climate crisis. Global warming led to melting glaciers, extreme weather, and rising sea levels. Nations struggled to balance development and sustainability. Pandemics. The COVID-19 pandemic, 2020 to 2022, killed millions and disrupted economies and societies globally. Ongoing conflicts. Russia's war with Ukraine, 2022, Israel, Palestine tensions, and crises in Sudan, Yemen, and Syria continue to destabilize regions. Artificial intelligence. Technologies like ChatGPT and robotics are changing education, jobs, and economies, but raising ethical questions too. Learning from the past. From the first life forms to modern civilization, humanity has faced great challenges and achieved even greater triumphs. Understanding our past helps us make better choices for the future. In a world of advanced technology and global interconnection, our shared history reminds us that we are all part of the same human story.